Whenever you say I don't want instead of I want, you are attracting the negative aspects of affirmations.
Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Good morning. This is Monica Graves, and this is the Monday Morning Mindset. I am having some technical difficulties, so I hope that you guys can hear me. I have no internet this morning, so I'm just doing this on via cellular service. And we got a lot of snow in Colorado, and I'm in the mountains. And so sometimes the snow can cause me to not have internet. So anyway, we can all have a positive mindset about that. So today we are going to talk about affirming. And that is the 4th chapter in my book. The first chapter is on believing. The second is on allowing. Third chapter, learning. And 4th chapter is on affirming. And then after this chapter, it is nurturing, then celebrating, then expanding. So those are the 7 chapters of my book called Inner Being and Balance. And I hope that you have read some of these chapters because I do a workshop, and that workshop's going to be coming up. And it will be via online, and it'll be a 22-day challenge in January to get us ready for the new year. So let's talk about affirmations. Affirmations are just statements, and they can be either a negative statement or a positive statement. And really, we are saying affirmations to ourselves all day long. If you think about it, sometimes your affirmations could be negative because they could be saying things non-consciously or subconsciously. And so it could be things like, I can't believe I just did that. Okay, that's a affirmation that has a negative connotation to it. It could be things like, I'm so fat, or I'm so disorganized. And anytime we criticize ourselves, those are affirmations that are negative. And so there's ways of turning those negative affirmations into positive ones. And it's all about your mindset. It's all about being aware. And if you're aware, let's just say you wear a little bracelet around your arm. And so I do that. I've got this little bracelet here. And these are easy to come by, these little beaded bracelets. And so what you can do is every time something enters into your head, and we call it monkey brain, sometimes you'll be doing something and all of a sudden you have these negative thoughts. And instead of those turning into negative affirmations, you can just snap this little bracelet, snap the even if it's a rubber band, just snap it and say, I'm going to change that thought. Because you guys, thoughts are things. They really are. They are things that can help. They can help with your vibration, or they can actually lower your vibration. So you always want to be on a high frequency, right? Because if you're on a high frequency, then you're going to attract that higher energy, the higher energy of other people, the higher energy of thoughts and things from other people. And so let's talk about how we can change that wording. So in my book, we talk about, again, affirmations being statements, but I'd like to read something from Louise Hay's book. And I am a Louise Hay certified instructor, and most of my workshops are based on her teachings from the book called You Can Heal Your Life. And so you want to be thinking that, all the answers to anything that you want are already within you. You just have to be more aware of it. And so what if you say things like, I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be old. I don't want to be stuck in this job that I don't like. I don't want to be lonely. I don't want to be unhappy. I don't want to be sick. When you say things like that, things that you don't want, you are actually attracting that into your life. Whenever you say, I don't want, instead of I want, you are attracting the negative aspects of affirmations. So we can turn this around and use the power of I am. So I'm sure you've heard of this, how powerful those two words are. That's how you want to begin affirmations, affirming that I am. So changing these thoughts, those ones that I just said, to I am slender. I am prosperous. I am eternally young. I move to a better place. I am my own person. I am filled with love and affection. I am healthy. So do you see how that, changing just those little thoughts around? And you also have to approve of yourself. So when I was sick, you'll read about it in my book. I ended up very, very sick with Graves' disease. And it was funny because Graves' is my last name. And it was really, sort of a weird thing for this to happen, that I had Graves' disease. I was diagnosed with that. It's an autoimmune disease, and it's hyperthyroidism. So hyperthyroidism is a disease involving the thyroid, and I was producing too many hormones. That's why it's called hyper. And so it was causing me to be very sick. And so I wanted to heal myself. I wanted to find out what I could do. And I looked in Louise Hay's book. And Louise Hay, in this book, You Can Heal Your Life, there's emotions tied to illness. And we call it dis-ease. So if you ever have a dis-ease where you're not at ease in your body, then there's ways of easing it by doing affirmations. So the affirmation for hyperthyroid is, and I've said it so many times, is I am at the center of life. I love and approve of myself. I move forward with ease and grace. And so I said these affirmations every day. I said them in the morning. I said them, during the day. I sang them sometimes. When I was walking my dogs, I would sing that affirmation. And so literally within a year, taking care of myself, eating the right things, and doing, these affirmations, I literally went into full remission from this autoimmune disease. And I believe that anybody can do it. So it does take that mindset, though. It takes that mindset for you to believe. Okay, that's the first chapter in my book, believing. So if you believe that there's positive affirmations that you can say, then what's going to happen, again, you're going to raise that vibration. You're going to raise your frequency. And instead of saying things like, I am so unhappy, you can say, I am happy. And then you can say things other I ams or I have. You can say, I have everything that I need to be happy. I have so many things that I'm grateful for. And then list the things that you're grateful for. I am blessed is such a great affirmation. And we're moving into that month of November, which is usually that thankful month, the gratitude month. And so I want you to think about how you are thankful. And you can always say, I am thankful for. And again, you're just bringing more of that positive affirmation into your life. Think about, maybe you do an exercise. Think about just listing all the great characteristics of yourself. Not necessarily labels, but just things that about yourself that are awesome. Just say, I am awesome. And when you list those things on a sheet of paper, you're going to realize there's a lot of really, really great things about you. Like when I used to say things like, I am so unorganized. I have got to get organized. And that way that I was saying it was a negative way of saying it. And I always tell people, try not to use the word should. So things like, I should get organized. You're putting that negative feeling of I should get organized instead of saying, I am working on getting organized. I am thankful that I am brave enough to get organized. And so you switch the thought, you switch the feeling, and all of a sudden you're going to see things that can help you to get organized. More and more of that's going to come to you because you have changed the thought, you've changed the feeling to, instead of saying, I should get organized, should puts blame, should puts guilt, should puts a feeling out there that is a negative feeling towards what you want. So I've said this more than once, but quit shoulding on yourself. So when you should on yourself, it's a way of bringing those negative feelings to something. And you also can change it to saying that I could. So what if you said, I could get organized? I could find ways of getting more organized. And all of a sudden, that should that turns to could changes everything about the feeling of things that you want or need. So let's say, instead of saying, I'm so broke, we tell ourselves that sometimes when we get in that situation where we see our bank account or we see, credit card balances that are high. Instead of saying, I am so broke, what about switching it to, I am finding ways of prosperity, or I am meeting the clients that I need to meet to earn the income that I desire. So I say that one a lot. You might want to write that one down. I am meeting the clients that I need to meet to earn the income that I desire. So by saying that, by putting that feeling of desire and meeting those clients and the income, you're talking about your income, right? So instead of saying, I have no income, I have clients that are helping me with my income. All right. So I hope this is making sense to you. Excuse me. Because it really is powerful. It's one of the most powerful things that you can do in life is to affirm positive affirmations. And it comes with everything in life. And you want to be a little bit more conscious about it. Okay, so again, wearing the bracelet, helping you to switch that mindset, because there's going to be times that you're going to feel negative. It's going to be times where you're going to be sad. Okay, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. But there's ways of switching that when it feels right. And then you can make it so that you can actually make yourself feel better. And so we live in a world where there's a lot of negative things around us, negative people, negative situations where we see them on TV, on the news, We're bombarded with all kinds of thoughts. And those, I don't know if you knew this, but we have about 98,000 thoughts a day. So if we're having 98,000 to 100,000 thoughts a day, how many of those are negative? And how many of those are positive? And think about your body. Think about your mind. All right. We have all these cells. And if we have all of this negative thoughts in our brain and negative thoughts in our cells and negative thoughts all around us, well, of course, you're going to start to feel sick because your body needs to have more of the high vibration of those cells to work correctly. So I've learned a lot of this through going through illness myself. And not only did I have Graves' disease, but when I was only 30 years old, I ended up hospitalized with ulcers. And so had a very stressful job. I lived in New York City. I worked for the Ralph Lauren Corporation, and I had a lot of demand on me. And then I also had just given birth to my first child. So if you think about all of those things happening, the stress of having a child, the stress of my job, living in New York City where the energy is very chaotic. So I ended up with 22 ulcers. So having those ulcers put me in the hospital. And that's when I ended up, someone gave me the book, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And I read what the affirmations were for having ulcers. And it's really strange that the emotion to ulcers is, I am not good enough. And I must have been saying, I am not good enough, or feeling that I'm not good enough. I must have been feeling that for many months or even years. And the stress of that caused me to have that low vibration and to say those negative things and caused me to get sick. So I hope you believe this, because it really has been proven. Science has proven that stress causes many diseases. And so it's best if you can put yourself in that position of having less stress. And if you can do positive affirmations every morning when you wake up. So let's do a test. By the next time I talk to you, I would like to find out, and maybe you can email me before we do another Monday Mindset. I want to find out if anybody out there can do this exercise and see what happens. So you can use it on income, you can use it on health, you can use it on anything, and you will realize that you are changing your thought process. You're changing your mind, you're changing your non-conscious, you're changing that pattern by doing this exercise. So what I want you to do is every morning when you wake up, I want you to think of an affirmation that you want to utilize. And I'll give you an example because this increased my income. I put the word I enjoy. Okay, that's a feeling. So it's a positive affirmation. I enjoy earning. And then I put the amount of income that I wanted to earn that year. And this is great for this in January. So when I do my workshop, it'll be great for you in January, because you're going to look at that income that you want to increase. So here's the affirmation. I enjoy earning $250,000 or more per year. Okay. So I was making about $95,000. I could not seem to reach $100,000 in income. This was about 15 years ago when I started doing positive affirmations. And I did a financial analysis with my business plan, and I saw how many people that I needed to meet and then I needed to close to earn $250,000 in income. It's very easy to do those types of business plans. You divide it out backwards, making sure for $250,000, what is your average commission? And if your average, let's say your average commission is 10,000, so that means that I needed to close at least 25 transactions. So you can use transactions as well if you want to use that affirmation. I enjoy closing 25 transactions or more per year. Did you notice that I said or more? Right. I enjoy earning $250,000 or more per year. So I'll put a time on it. I put something that was accessible, right? I put something that was doable, and I put a timing on it. Okay. So I want you to try this exercise. You can use it on health. You can say, I am healthy and I will be healthy for the rest of my life. If you want to put a time on it like that. I enjoy being healthy this year and the next year and forever. You can say things like that. But doing the income aspect of it, that's the one that really, really worked for me. Okay. So if I said, I enjoy earning $250,000 or more per year, and then guess what? That next year, I earned that income because I changed my mindset. I changed that aspect of not looking at the part of what I couldn't do. I looked at the part of what I could do. And then I started looking at how many transactions. I enjoy closing 25 transactions or more. So if you want to switch it to transactions, you can even say, I enjoy helping 25 families or more per year. And write it down every morning and do it 25 times. If you can write that affirmation, whatever that affirmation ends up being for you, 25 times, write it on a piece of paper. The reason why we say to write is it's been proven that whether you're left-handed or right-handed, when you put it to pen instead of typing, people like typing their affirmations, that's fine. Okay, you're moving both fingers, you're thinking about it. But what they have learned with scribing is that scribing actually, as you watch the words and you're moving them along, you put feeling into it and it feels great and it's really easy. And we have found that if you can write it down 25 times, you are going to change the pattern in that left hemisphere. And the left hemisphere is memory. So everything that you've ever done in your life is in this part of your brain. Everything. It goes into memory. We might not remember things, but it's all there. It's still there. So that's why sometimes those negative things will come back, because you might have grown up in a negative household, or someone telling you that you are stupid or you can't do anything, you're not worthy of anything. Those kind of things are still there. Okay, they're still in your mind and they can pop up whenever. So you want to change that pattern and put some more positive things so that you can override. And I like saying override because it's almost like your mind is a computer and you're putting in this new programming. And that new programming is going to help to change that mindset. It's going to help you to have those positive affirmations. So let's see. We've got about 5 more minutes. So I want to try to just read something to you real quick about affirmations that I put in my book. So if you can believe in affirmations and the power they have each time you say them, okay? you want to put this in your goals. So let's say you have a business plan that you're putting together, and you're going to be putting in the affirmations and the things that are going to help you reach them with your goals. So if you look at, I'll just give you some of mine that I wrote back in 2007. And they can be anything. Okay, so I'm being pretty personal here, but it's in my book anyway. I want a successful marriage and a good relationship with my kids. Okay, so you want to say, I want, when you are, instead of saying, I don't want, or I don't want these things in my life. You never want to say don't want, because you end up putting a negative vibration to it. Okay, so again, here's an experiment. And I said, I want a successful marriage and a good relationship with my kids. Well, I've been married for 37 years, and I have a fantastic, wonderful relationship with my children and their wives. I want a second home in the mountains near a resort. Okay, remember I wrote this back in 2007. Well, in 2010, I bought a property near a resort. So it took me about 3 years, but it happened. I want to have $100,000 in my bank account. Excuse me. Well, it's doable. I did it. Put $100,000 in my bank account. I want to help lots of people and be rewarded for my help that I give them. Okay, so I've been a top producer. I have helped so many people. I help between 35 and 40 families a year buy or sell a home. Okay, I want to relax and travel as much as I work. I want balance. So think about that. Think about having the work that you love, but also being able to travel, being able to do things that you really want to do, having that playtime. That's where you can change that I want to, I am, or I have. And the last thing I want to tell you is try not to use the word should or will. Now, will, you think, hey, that's positive. It does have a positive sound to it. It was, I will earn $250,000 or more per year. But will puts it into the future, and it'll leave it in the future. It'll be unattainable. So you always want to use words like I have, I want, I am, I enjoy. If you use the word I enjoy, I promise that will change your life, because you will be enjoying the things that you are accomplishing. The stress will come, but you can switch it. Just like I said, switch that thought to a more positive mindset and use those affirmations to help you with your business, to help you with your life, to help you with your health. I hope you learned a lot today on positive affirmations. Have a fantastic week.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.